Alright y'all, today is the day. It's time for the poop video. Last weekend I planned to boondock, fill up my 40-gallon freshwater tank, and have potable water all weekend. But sometimes things don't go the way you plan and I wasn't able to fill up my water tank, so we were essentially dry camping. Which means that I was flushing my toilet with extra non-potable water, which is great, but I wasn't using as much water as I typically would have. Which means that the concentration of waste in our black tank is higher than I would like it to be. So we are going to empty the tanks like normal, and then I'm going to flush out the black tank, make sure that any sort of buildup has been removed from it. That way next time we go out, everything's going to be clean. So to get started, we're going to go outside. I'm going to get out the box of supplies that we use to empty our gray and black tank. I'm going to step you guys through the process of actually setting that up, emptying the tanks, and then we're going to get the black tank flushed out, which is something that I've never done personally before, so we'll see how that goes. So let me show you what we're working with. The very first thing that you want in your kit is a pair of good gloves. We splurge on the Titan Flex because they have diamond grippies on them. I think it makes it a lot easier to work with them. Some people don't use gloves when they deal with black tank. If you have access to hand washing systems, that's fine, but usually we only have access to Germ-X, which will kill the germs, but then it leaves everything on your hands and it's not actually cleaning your hands off, and that's kind of gross. So the things that you definitely need to have in your kit. You need to have at least one sewer hose. We have two. We've needed two multiple times. You need to have an elbow. A clear elbow is great, but any elbow will do. This is going to attach from the sewer hose into the actual hole in the ground. You might think that having a clear one is pretty gross, but it actually lets you see when it's going to be running clear. It is gross. The whole thing's gross. Get used to it. You're dealing with your own waste. It's gonna be gross. So wouldn't you rather know that now it's clean? This is a donut. In some cases the sewer hole is bigger than your hose is. This donut helps to have a nice fit. That way you're not getting all kinds of odors and nastiness coming up in the gaps around your hose. Alternatively, this shrinks the hose down. Sometimes the sewer holes are smaller than your hose, in which case you're screwed. We've been in that situation before where we just couldn't dump our tanks because the hose didn't fit in the sewer. This adapter goes on the end of your hose and shrinks it down so that it can fit in a smaller sewer inlet. We also have sewer weights. These lay over the top of the hose to make sure that the hose isn't going to come out of the sewer while you're in the process of dumping. This is a sewer run. This spreads out like an accordion and it supports your sewer hose. In some cases, the sewer inlet is above ground. You need something that's going to keep the run on a constant downhill slope from your rig to the sewer. If your hose bows and then goes back up, gravity is going to keep it from dumping. And then we also have our non-potable water hose, or our maintenance hose. It is incredibly important that you have a potable water hose that never touches anything to do with your black tank. And then you have your maintenance hose, or your non-potable hose. This is what's going to actually connect to the black tank to flush it out. So the first thing we're going to do is lay down our hose run. As you can see, our sewer inlet is about that high off the ground, so that's why we have the sewer run. Otherwise the hose would touch the ground and then have to go back up. So what we've got here is the main hole where everything comes out. We have a black valve, a gray valve, and then we added an aftermarket gate valve just to keep things a little bit cleaner and prevent leakage. So we're gonna leave everything closed. We're gonna take the cap off and we're going to put the hose on. The hose has little hooks. You stick it on and then you twist the hooks into place. And these caps need to go back into our box so I don't lose them. From here we're going to do the same thing to connect the first hose to the second hose. Unscrew the caps. Puzzle pieces fit together. Now from here we're going to attach our elbow to the second hose. unscrew our sewer inlet and stretch to fit. Sewer weights lay nicely across the top. And now we're ready to dump. So when you go to dump your tank, you want to dump your black tank first and then your gray tank. That way the gray tank can kind of rinse away all of the waste from the black tank. So once you've got everything hooked up and you're confident that nothing's going to fall, go anywhere, come loose, because that's happened before and it's disgusting, you're going to open up your black tank first. And to open your black tank, you're just going to grab the black handle and pull. When you pull the handle, you will hear the liquids in your black tank come through the hose. Wait until everything's finished, let it settle down, and once we can hear that that's all drained, we're going to open up the gray tank and let the slightly less disgusting wastewater wash all that out of the hoses. So if all you're doing is emptying your gray and black tank, that's it, you're done. Once everything finishes draining out, you just pack it all up, go on down the road. We are going to flush out our black tank today, so I'm going to leave everything hooked up. I'm going to close my gray tank, open my black tank, and then I'm going to attach my maintenance hose, not my potable water hose, to the Santa Flush inlet. So our maintenance hose is hooked up. Our black tank valve and gate valve are both wide open. So basically the water is going to push from the hose through the black tank and then out the drainage hose. You want to make sure that that drainage hose is open because otherwise the water pressure could get into your tank and then push all of the nastiness that's in that tank back up through your hose into the city water system, which you don't want that. We have an anti-siphon hose on the house anyway, but regardless, you want to make sure that you're doing this properly and not letting all of your waste germs get all up in everything. So we're going to let this run until it runs clear. I have no idea how long this is going to take, but editing. I let the water run for about 10 minutes. The water was basically clear after 3 or 4, but I was still getting small chunks of, like, I believe toilet paper, where it had kind of dried out, probably stuck to the sides of the tank. So I'm going to shut the water off, unhook everything, load it all back up, and then we are done with emptying the black tank and flushing it. Not that scary, not that big of a deal. So as we go to get everything away, we're going to start at the top and work our way down. We're going to close all of our gate valves. We are going to put our cap back on the RV. Cap on the hose. Let it drain. Cap on the hose, in we go. Let it drain. Cap on the hose. Weights. I'm going to drain my hose directly. Cupped into the box. Don't forget your elbow. Leave everything the way you found it. There you have it. So there you have it, the process of emptying the gray and black tank and then flushing out the black tank. The black tank is probably one of the scariest things to face as a new RV owner or someone who's borrowing or renting an RV. And before we purchased our RV, I swore up and down that I was never going to touch it, but it's really not that big of a deal. If you're doing everything properly, there shouldn't be a severe smell. It shouldn't be an awful, terrible thing. Every now and then you get a sewer inlet that's just disgusting and you can't help that. But as far as your system goes and everything on your side, if you keep everything cleaned out, if you keep your maintenance up to date, it's really not that big of a deal. From start to finish, this whole process took me well under an hour, and I don't move fast. I'm not an efficient person. I basically just wanted to share with you that if I can do it, anyone can do it. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment and let me know. If you have any suggestions that you think might help other RV owners, please feel free to share them in the comments. I just realized I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning of the video. I am Silver. This is the USS Overlander, and as always, I will see you on our next adventure.